want better for y'all.
I don't think enough people are saying this shit.
These are just our ideas.
Maybe we should all be a little bit more self-aware and a little bit less delusional.
What do we know?
What the fuck could we possibly know?
Hey, look, get your shit together.
But let me stay focused.
All right, and welcome back to The Reason They Should Have Never Gave You Niggas Microphones. I'm Lolo.
I'm Bitch Shae.
And this is Let Me Stay Focused, the podcast. Woo! So, in an effort to be fully transparent, this episode, we usually don't reference when we're recording, but it's election night right now. So by the time you're hearing this, the election is over, and you're asking yourself, why didn't they discuss the election? It's because it hasn't fucking happened yet.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Like as we speak. Which speaks to our devotion to you all. Because we're here to make it happen for you. So.
Yeah. By the next time we record, we should know.
Yeah.
Who's the winner? Like officially.
Which is exciting. I mean, at least it'll be over regardless.
Man, I'm ready for it to be over now. But I know, technicalities and all that.
It's so many idiots out here. But before we get to idiots, who's honorable mention?
Well, first we gotta get into what we're watching.
Fuck, I forgot what we're watching. You see how fried the fucking... I don't even have my outline open.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like in an overall state of distress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been very anxious all day.
Well, do you want me to share what I'm watching or you want to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay, so I rewatched and I will probably rewatch 1,000 times Onward on Disney Plus.
Onward, that's a cartoon?
Yes, it is. It's about two elf brothers and it's so good and I cry every fucking time.
I had never seen it.
It's so good. So they their father passes away before the second one is born. And he was an elf, so he left okay, how do I give context without spoiling the movie? So basically they exist in a world where magic existed, but people just basically got too lazy to get good at it. And then there was phones, and then who needs a light spell when somebody has a light bulb and there's electricity, and so that's way easier.
Okay.
So when the boys turned 16, their father left to them sort of like this wand that could cast a spell to bring him back for one day so he could see who his boys had become. And because they're not good at magic, really, the younger one casts the spell and only the dad's legs come back.
Oh, wow.
And they have 24 hours to get like a new gemstone together to get the rest of their dad back to get to spend time with him before sort of it goes away, because the spell only lasts 24 hours. And so they go on this adventure and it's really, really good.
That's crazy.
So good. And it came out during the pandemic, which is why I think people didn't really see it. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I mean, it sounds familiar, the name Onward, but yeah, it sounds like a decent movie.
I think you would really like it. I can't tell you why you would really like it because it would spoil it, but it's really, really good.
I would check it out, but I think my mom got rid of Disney Plus. But I might get it. I might just get it, but...
Aren't you techie? Can't you pirate it?
I could. But, I don't know. We'll see.
You don't want to admit to that on the pod?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Remember before you watched any DVD, the FBI was like, you better fucking not. I'm not playing with you. Don't bootleg this movie.
No, for real. And then people would bootleg it anyway.
Remember, it was like, you wouldn't steal a purse. And it would show like some guy knocking over an old lady.
Yeah.
So why would you steal a movie? Iconic. What are you watching?
For real. So I watched the Megan Thee Stallion documentary.
I have to watch that.
You didn't watch it yet?
Oh my God. That's what I had something that I was like, I'm going to put this down as what we're watching. And then I forgot. And then I panicked. And then I watched Onward to assuage the panic and I forgot to add it. But go ahead.
But yeah, it's called In Her Eyes. It's on Amazon Prime. And I think it was cool. It was good. I mean, I don't really think we learned any new information.
Yeah.
But it was cool to just, see her kind of express herself through, from her perspective, from like what she was going through mentally, like during that time.
Yeah.
But again, she put that in music before, so it's kind of like I said, it's kind of was nothing new really, but it's Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I fuck with it.
Love her. Yeah, I watched the Chris Brown documentary on Max.
Yeah, I saw that you watched it. I didn't watch it yet. That's what I've been meaning to watch too. I forgot about it.
But now I'm arguing with people on TikTok about it. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's good. They have one of the women who didn't sort of come forward publicly. She comes forward, like she's speaking in the doc, but she's still like anonymous. Mm-hmm. And just to see how people still treat like an anonymous person,
right?
Like, it's insane. And what I I guess vocalized in a way that I hadn't before when I was watching the doc was that being a girl's girl is not even just necessarily for other women, but it also protects you in the long run. Like, if you just believe other women, don't find yourself to be an exception. Don't say to yourself, oh, well, if I was put in this predicament with this celebrity, I would do this. So she must be doing this.
Yeah.
And that's why she's responsible for her own dismay. Maybe you wouldn't be so quick to be able to dismiss sort of the character of the person you're talking about. And it would keep you safe. Am I tracking? I feel like it's hard to explain, but...
No, I understand perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought about that because it's like there are a lot of people who, whether it's Surviving R. Kelly, the girl that showed up to the trial and ended up a victim. It was like, if you would have just believed other women in the first place, not to victim blame because it shouldn't have happened to anybody, but
the signs,
yeah, it's for your own protection. Yeah. And other people shouldn't be so quick to say it could never be me.
Yeah. And that's one thing, because like in those situations, is like you could say what you would do differently or whatever, but the situation is what it is, and there's no changing that. You know what I'm saying? So you really kind of have to think about the other person, like what if that was me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I was in that predicament instead of I would never be in that predicament?
But I think that they do kind of think, and I know we're dragging the first segment a little long, but I think that they do think about what if it was me, right? I think that they believe that a lot of these women, because the documentary does speak about how like Rihanna was a very specific case because she had her own fame, and every other woman who was victimized by Chris Brown afterwards is not already famous. Mm-hmm. And just seeing that and thinking, oh, well, if I was in a room with Chris Brown, talking about the non-famous people now, if I was in a room with Chris Brown, I would throw myself at him. So I don't believe she was assaulted. I believe she threw herself at him and got denied. Therefore, I am not placing the blame on Chris Brown. I am placing the blame on the woman who has been victimized. And therefore, when I run across Chris Brown, I'm not the level of scared I should fucking be. And now I'm in a tough spot. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
That combined with It Could Never Be Me.
Yeah. Oh, it says on Max.
Yes. And y'all pirate Onward. It's so good.
It might be too late to pirate. I mean, it's never too late to pirate, but it's just a little more difficult. But next we have honorable mention.
Woo.
And I don't know if I made this person honorable mention before. I feel like I have, but I'm not sure. But this is Vice President Kamala Harris. Because win, lose, or draw, at the end of the day, I know this shit is not about gender, it's not about race. It's not. But it's nice to see that like women are, at least trying, at least, not to say, because, Shirley Chisholm really was the first, but to attempt. But,
I know that's right.
but, I am proud of her
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like, whatever her politics is, all of that aside, like,
She's doing something that they would have grabbed and lynched her for before.
yeah, like, it's good. It's nice to see a black woman in that position. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I feel like a lot of times, like, politicians, I feel like a lot of them start out with their heart in the right place. And I don't know what happens along the way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it'd be some real shit that happen within the government that like kind of make them different or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I just feel like, her heart kind of probably in the right place. Like,
I think she had to spend a lot of time overcompensating for being black.
yeah.
And sometimes that manifests itself in not showing solidarity with other black people because you want to be seen for like your merits
Right.
and other things other than being black. I don't think that she would have got to where she was today if she had a politic like myself. So, I mean, I get why it happens, and I hope now that she ain't got no boss, she can get closer to like where I'm assuming her heart should be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's only gonna get this. I feel like this, even though she probably been working her whole life to this point.
Yeah,
This is only the beginning.
I want to know if Lil' Kim voted for her. Well, can Lil' Kim vote? No, because she's a felon. You can get your rights back some places.
Right? Yeah, it depends, but
Because I ain't voting for no bitch who was in my documentary calling me a thug. I'll tell you that much.
I'm weak. Yeah, you got a point, because I'm thinking like, if I was in that position, I would probably feel that way too. So, yeah, but it's my uncle, and I know we dragging this segment too.
It's getting dragged. This election night, y'all.
Yeah, it's pretty much gonna be about the election because that's what my topic is. But
Perfect.
anyway, I'll just talk about it later then. Yeah,
Sure.
but yeah, what's hotel? Who's hotel?
Because I had a hotel, but now I'm kind of thinking that I should have went with my first mind, but it's also election related. I had Carlissa, but when is Carlissa not doing something, she'll probably have an opportunity to be Hotep of the Week again sometime soon. Mm-hmm. Amber Rose, I'm not done with you, bitch. I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you, bitch. And I feel like people don't understand like this about me because I seem pretty happy-go-lucky on this podcast. And I never want to compare myself to a pit bull because I'm a black woman. And that's a bad comparison. But when I get on somebody's ass, you can't get me to fuck off you. Amber Rose, you really pissed me the fuck off. What the fuck is wrong with you? And not just Amber Rose, but like in this context, you used our culture to become famous and then use that fucking fame to turn around and support someone who wishes us harm and ill. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking dumb?
Yeah.
Like,
and then the whole I was trolling Beyonce shit. Like, bro, please, Amber, get the fuck out of here. Like I just really want her to not.
the bitch had the slut walk and is like endorsing a sexual assailant. She's a fucking idiot.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
and you doing that shit with the names of your black sons tattooed across your forehead, you dumb bitch. It's too fucking much. It's too fucking far.
Yeah, they need to pack her up.
A fucking loser. Like, what is wrong with that bitch? Some people can't be smart, so they're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to be controversial.
Yeah. It's like, it's crazy that that's what she got to do to like be relevant.
Her fucking Abby is Donald Trump.
Like, shit's sad.
And when you get tossed to the side for an endorsement that they actually fucking value, what the fuck are you going to do then?
She gonna have to go back to them white folk.
If we didn't forgive Chrisette Michelle, Amber Rose don't stand a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Like, oof. She makes me sick.
She probably gonna end up removing her tattoos and being a white, going back there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, ain't no fucking way we fucking with you.
Girl, I wish ill on you, baby. You ain't getting nothing from me.
I'm tired of people. Like, this shit is just crazy. But next we have lyrics and lessons.
Woo.
So my lyric this week is from a song called Sam's Vibe, and it's by Duran Bernard.
I assumed it was going to be by someone named Sam.
Nope, it's by Duran Bernard. And it goes like, but now that I know that it's just life and not because I'm not living right and doing what I want done to me, help me sleep so good at night. Did you smoke today? Have you yet put something on your stomach? And I think sometimes things happen in life that like cause you to ask yourself like, why me? Or like, you know, what did I do to get here? But I just feel like if you know that you like are a decent person, you do right by people, you know what I'm saying? Obviously nobody's perfect, but if you do right by people and take care of yourself, you can kind of like live with yourself. You can kind of like rest in the fact that like everything's going to end up being okay. So yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
I also have a lyric that I put in my photos, but not my fucking outline. So allow me to scroll a bit.
You know, you can search if you know like the lyric.
Oh, it's my most recent photo. I just forgot to put it into the outline note. It's from a song called Northside by Amalu. And it's, the North Side is with me even in LA. Which one do you prefer? Well, I can't choose. They're not the same. Amalu is a British artist, but I believe has dual citizenship. And I was thinking about that line because in the video, the song's pretty old. She holds up like both of her passports. And I try to explain the concept of paradise lost to people all the time. So I guess this is just another opportunity for folks who have never lived anywhere but their hometown. I think a lot of people think that leaving their hometown is going to solve their problems. It's not going to solve your problems. If you want to do it for the hell of it, do it, but it's not going to make things better. The concept of paradise lost is kind of like you move from where you're from. It doesn't compare to where you're from because you're not from there. And you just remember all of these fond memories of where you're from, all of these things about where you're from. And then you go home for a visit and everything's different. The only thing constant is change. And so that idea of the place that you're from, you've lost it by not valuing it. Am I tracking?
Yeah.
So I just thought about that when she's like, I can't compare them. They're not the same. I think that's sort of like how I look at, you know, I do like Virginia. And I also really fucking like Brockton. And I don't necessarily compare them because what good does that do?
Yeah.
And I just see so many people who are like, I just got to get the fuck out of Virginia. I'm just going to. Girl, where are you going? Atlanta said leave them alone. And Houston's about to start banning you niggas.
That's dope. That's deep. I actually did used to feel like that, like young when I was younger. Like I used to be like, I can't wait to move and like, be somewhere else. And I did try. I remember that time I tried to go to North Carolina or whatever. It didn't work out. And eventually, everything worked out for my life. I feel like
Yeah.
even though it was like a tough period, and I'm like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. It was like I did kind of learn to value Virginia, and like now, I always think like, I mean, at some point I feel like I do want to live in a different state, but like I feel like this is home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable here. And I travel, so it's like I don't have to feel like, oh, I gotta go live somewhere else.
Yeah.
And one thing I like about Virginia is the beach. And I mean, I could live anywhere else with a beach, but like I just found pleasure in like just being where I'm at, and like
Yeah.
I just feel like that's dope. That was dope. It resonated.
I'm glad. But yeah, so like I don't think about Brockton in comparison to where I am now. I just think about Brockton as like where I'm from. And I respect the fact that every time I go back, something is different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not spending all of this time going, oh, well, this is not like where I'm from. Where I'm
Yeah.
from, it's like this. Like,
Shit, I feel like that right coming to Norfolk sometimes because I live in Chesapeake now, so
Yeah.
I just be like, I come over here sometimes just going different places or whatever, and I'll ride past like, wow, like I only lived. It was only been a couple years, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
yeah, it's not about like where you at physically. It's about where you at like internally.
Yeah. I just appreciate that I don't have to use Waze when I go home. Like, that makes me smile, but I don't. Because if I did that, if I spent my entire time in Brockton going, I fucking hate Brockton, I got to get out of here. And then I got here and I was like, this ain't shit like Brockton.
Yeah,
I'm always worried
like a
about
cycle,
something else.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's dope.
but if you want to move for the hell of moving, move, but not because you think it'll solve your problems.
Right. That's key.
A lot of people piss their whole friendship group off, move to Atlanta.
And then be in drama down there and shit.
The people in Atlanta chasing them back here.
Right. And we but I have let me stay focused.
Woo.
And I really haven't been able to like think about anything else other than the election. I mean, I did want to call out Young Thug is free.
Free Thugger.
I got on my
backwards.
it's free Thugger. Or Thugger free. But I got on my Thug shirt. Y'all can't really see it.
Shirt.
But
Welcome home, Jeffrey.
yeah, welcome home, bro. Mariah the Scientist, like
She jumped the fuck off the tour. That is so funny to me.
I have thoughts about that because I just feel like
People paid.
yes, people paid like people was excited to see her.
The girls go up for Mariah. I don't find her one of my top vocalists, but that's a pretty bitch there.
And she very catchy. Like her shit is like catchy. She's like you said, she's not the strongest vocalist, but like, her shit is a little cute little bop.
And she seemed like a sweet girl.
Yeah.
If she had bad
does.
vocals and like wasn't nice to people, we would have a problem.
Oh yes.
Not to say the vocals are bad. I'm just saying she's not like up there with the girls that sang it.
Yeah, she not like Summer Walker, but
Yeah.
she cool. She dope. I fuck with her. But yeah, the topic was the election. I just wanted to call that out, y'all, because I meant to put that in the honorable mention.
Yeah. I had like people, I was like, honorable mention. And then I was like, I don't have honorable mention.
Yeah, so the election. I don't really have like an outline for it, but I kind of do. How are you feeling?
I've been like looking into a lot of stuff, and I think I'm finding that the polls that we're receiving, the data is sort of skewed, and it might not be as tight of a race as it seems. And that makes me feel really confident, but it also, like, what the fuck? What do you mean the polls are skewed? And I guess, like, all of the polling people are just so worried about being incorrect that they're just like, it's anybody's game now.
Yeah.
It's coming to get you.
Yeah. I've been looking up stuff too, cause
Have
I'm
you been
like,
hearing that about the polls?
well, I've been hearing a lot about the polls,
Yeah.
like the voter restriction stuff that been going on. I was watching 60 Minutes, and I learned like a lot in like 40 minutes. But
And Trump is suing CBS for $10 billion
really,
because of Kamala's 60-minute interview. And he didn't do one because they told him they would have to fact check him.
well, and that's why, and you on point, because I was just thinking that this is they're credible. Like on my way here, I'm like, they're on YouTube, like, and they might not be like the type of content that we see on like social media, but it's informative.
Yeah, I fuck with 60 Minutes because they put the words that they're saying behind them in that book.
Yeah.
And something about that, I really fuck with that. And, you know, Diane Sawyer, is it? Was it her? No, Leslie, the white lady up there, God forgive me. She's in Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And that's a good film.
I've never seen it.
A lot of people didn't go see it. I cried. And I know it's sounding like this episode in particular sounds like I cry at a lot of movies, but I do not. Like, I don't.
Not a lot. Just
No,
a little
just
bit.
Onward and Marcel the Show with Shoes On.
That's it.
Yeah. I feel like if you watched Onward, you would cry, though.
Probably. I think I'm pretty sure I teared up for Inside Out. So, and I'm not really like a big, like, I don't really watch a lot of cartoon like stuff. But like, if I catch it,
Yeah.
I like it, then, I usually do have like a warm heart type of moment.
Well, one thing about Onward that I think is specific is like there's a lot of movies about like, parents coming to understand their children coming to understand their parents. Mm-hmm. But this movie, while they're trying to get their dad, there's it's like a testament to siblings and like a sibling love story, which I think is not like romantic, obviously, but like I don't see that in a lot of films. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, the dad is important, but the brothers that are going on this journey together.
Yeah, because siblings are like a lot of times portrayed like fighting, opposites and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
But with the polls, I was talking about like, how they're like, according to the polls, it seems like this many people are going to vote for Biden or Harris or Trump or Clinton or whoever the fuck. Apparently, those people who release these polls that we watch up until the election,
they just be lying.
They're not lying, but like the way that they extrapolate the data and shit like that is flawed. Mm-hmm. And it's flawed in a way that they know it's flawed, but they would rather say it's anybody's game and not be wrong than
to say our information just not accurate.
Yeah.
Or is possibly not.
Or it seemed like there was a really big switch up in the 2016 election in the way that like Clinton was leading the polls. And to be fair, Clinton won the popular vote.
Exactly.
Right?
And I was going to mention that.
It was shocking to, I guess, the people who do the polls and shit like that, that Trump won. Right. And so it made them look very stupid, I guess, from their perspective.
So is these the people that do the polls on the TV?
So the polls on the TV are from a couple of places. Mm-hmm. And those couple of places are the people who are scared to be wrong.
See, and that's why I'm saying, like, okay, so let's back up to the 2016 election between Clinton and Trump. That was 2016.
Yes,
I think. Yeah. Like you said, she won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote.
I want to get rid of the Electoral College, but I don't know
So,
if that's where we're going with this.
well, so I looked into that. You know, that's kind of because the 60-minute episode was about like the truth about like how all that works and stuff like that. And so basically, what the Electoral College does is vote for the people like they kind of represent. Like, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it. So
Percentage wise.
yeah, so everybody goes to vote, and you vote Democratic, Republican, and then maybe third party, right? So whoever wins the popular vote, so basically they said the state has electors for each party. So like they have Democratic electors, they have Republican electors, third party electors. When one of them wins the popular vote, that's the group of electors who gets to choose, who then get to put in their vote for the president.
And I would just like to say, based on that, I think that if short of getting rid of the Electoral College, because I think it's a waste of the tax,
Especially now, right?
Whatever, even if they don't get paid, waste of taxpayers' time and money. At least put these motherfuckers on the screen. I want to know where I live. Who the fuck is going in that room?
Well, it's on the website.
I know, but why do I have to go look for it? I don't have to go look for a picture of Kamala Harris. I don't have to go look for a picture of the fucking mayor. If they're on the news talking about the mayor, there's a picture of the mayor there. Why the fuck the Electoral College? But I gotta find out who the fuck they are.
But you know, I just found that out when I went to early vote and I was looking for like the address and like where to go. It was like the office of election or whatever it's called, but it had whoever the elector is.
Mm-hmm. Was there a picture?
And I was like, oh wow, so this is the person that I would cuss out, like if they were to like vote opposite of like what they should have voted.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with Hillary and Trump. Like the Electoral College went in there and they were supposed to vote. They were supposed to swing her way. And I guess somebody, I don't know. And that's the thing, because I don't know if that information is public or put out there, like who they voted for. But yeah. So it's like you really don't know until the final, like maybe like the end of the week, for real.
And I'm always like on a birthday trip. Suffering.
Like when you find out.
Yeah.
But
I did, you know, I can't find the video that I was watching about the polls and how the numbers may be skewed, but I was watching CNN today, and a couple of reporters made the point to say, like, if the polls are accurate, which means that I think that maybe they're also seeing, like, I don't know about the fucking polls, dog.
And that's the thing, because the polls really are, I mean, they're not accurate.
I don't give a fuck.
And we don't really.
Nobody asked me shit.
We don't really know until we know. Like, and I feel like the people who work the polls, like they get a lot of like threats.
Yeah.
Because people think like they're cheating or fucking with the votes. I think they said last year somebody had sent fentanyl to their office in one of the locations. I forget where it was at. But like just shit like that, and it's like people can't even vote in peace for real because it's some bullshit.
It's crazy.
But Virginia gets 13 electoral votes. So we're going to see what they do with them.
Fuck them up. And also, I think that there's just been so much chaos and discord around this election that fucking I don't even find myself thinking like, oh shit, if she wins, this is history. Like, this is the first black woman president. This is the first woman president, fucking period.
Right.
That's not even
Yeah,
the
like
first
I
thing
said,
that I think of.
yeah, that's literally the base, because I feel like we can't even really get like excited about that really, because we don't know if this is gonna happen or not. But yeah, like the other shit is way more important. Like I think a lot of people forget the shit that happened when Trump was in office,
Yeah.
because it's not in their face anymore.
Yeah.
But like he was horrible. And I don't think y'all remember like all this shit that was happening and then the fact that like the whole Supreme Court shit. I think a lot of people have been misinformed in this election, and a lot of people not really doing the work to inform themselves. I mean, even if you want to just be for self, you can even just look up the stuff that you care about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None of what Trump is trying to do is for the benefit of anybody who's not rich and white.
It's fucking ridiculous. And a lot of these people don't understand that they're not one percenters. They think they make over $100,000 and they're the rich people who are going to get the tax breaks and all that shit. And it's not true. And on the other side, I think that there's people who are like, oh, you know, Trump may have been a bad president, but he could be used to galvanize and organize folks, because I think that when people are in times of peril, that's when they're apt to do the most action, which is true. But also, who's going to be doing the organizing? Me, not you niggas.
All right.
Don't sign me up for no shit. I'm a busy lady. Then that girl went up to the polls with her letters on to vote for Trump. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, wow.
I was embarrassed. I was horrified. Then she's like, they're sending me death threats.
Wow. I had a screenshot of,
You live by the gun, you die by the gun.
yeah, I had a screenshot of something I wanted to read, but I can't find it. But basically it was showing how like throughout like the election, or even just in general, like on Twitter, like there was a tweet that basically was saying like, oh, these black boys came from Haiti and came here and voted in the election.
False. Elon
Yeah.
Musk is spreading a lot of that misinformation. They said
Yeah.
that the amount of campaigning that he's been doing through X, like if they charged him for it, it would have cost $24 million. Like the campaign would have had to shell out $24 million. And I also noticed that I had to turn off all my X notifications because I was getting a bunch of Trump propaganda.
Even when you get up there, like I like been seeing Trump ads and stuff, like, and every time, you know, I don't want to see this ad, but
Not interested, and they
Yeah.
still be like, well, are you interested now?
but they did an actual thorough investigation like on that tweet,
Yeah.
because this was when Trump was alleging that illegals was coming here
They was
and
bringing them in
voting.
to vote 'em.
Yeah, and they found it out to be the Russians. And like that whole thing, like I don't think that people thought that was a real thing, but like that's really real. Like the shit that you see on Twitter don't be even a lot of time like it's there to rile y'all up, you know, and get you to engage and like go back and forth with.
What is that girl's name? She revealed that the Russians was fucking with us, and they put her in jail.
That shit real,
What
man.
the fuck is her name? Sydney Sweeney played her in it. Oh my God. Is that on Hulu? It is on Hulu because I watched it after Claim to Fame. Reality. That's literally her name.
Her name
is Reality Winner. That's what the fuck it is. And she worked in some form of government, but her job was translating documents, and she came across documents that basically proved Russian involvement, not necessarily in the election, but like the type of shit that they're doing now. And she leaked it to the press. They threw her to fucking jail. And that was good too. If you ever want to watch it, it's called Reality.
Okay. I was trying to find it.
That's her name, Reality Winner. Like, that's her birth name.
Yeah, I see her, but the movie.
The movie is called Reality. I would put Reality Hulu. And she's out of jail, but...
Okay, I'll just screenshot it. I'm gonna check that out too. But yeah, man, it's just a lot of fucking misinformation, propaganda, fucking fraud, scams, all that shit. Like, and I feel like it's just ironic because they're the ones who be like, oh, well, especially Trump, will try to accuse the other side of like doing fraud and stuff, but the whole time it's really him. And I know we talked about this before. Like, if this man gets the presidency, like, he's gonna try to like never let that go.
Yeah.
And I believe like he'll do anything to like make it happen. We have already seen like he done got away with hella shit. He got immunity. I mean, I don't know how much more power y'all want to get him in.
And I'm so, like, there's people who I think are playing the part. Like, when Paris Hilton revealed that this was all a scam and that she was never dumb, I believed that. I don't think that Trump is a smart person under this. I think he seems like an idiot because he is an idiot.
So I just looked up the update on the polls. I mean, we already done said that we don't know if it's accurate or not. But right now it's showing 3 for Harris and 23 for Trump. This is from the Associated Press.
Yeah, that's I think that's counting absentee ballots or early, because a lot of the polls didn't close.
Yeah, it's still going on.
Yeah,
I guess because California is like 3 hours behind and stuff. So I mean, I don't know like how it's gonna go, y'all, but just hoping for the best, preparing for the worst.
I just think that like we can't be this dumb. Like, we didn't even vote him in the first time. That's crazy.
We didn't vote him in the first time. But I feel like the first time a lot of people voted for him because they kind of did believe in like his policies and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like now I feel like if you still like feel like that, like there's really no excuse, bro. Like, it's literally unacceptable. One girl posted this on her story, and I wanted to read it. Mm-hmm. She was saying, voting alone is not enough. It's the beginning of strategizing. Politics is not every 4 years. Politics is every day. Even if you don't do politics, politics will do you and everyone around you. No politician will appeal to you wholeheartedly unless you become the president yourself. And even then, many people will not like majority of your policies. A lot of you see voting as needing to achieve positive change when really it's about not letting offenders be in office. It's about slowing down the negative change. Voting is better than nothing, but not enough to solve each problem. And then they commented and was like, a lot of people have valid reasons for not voting, but never took a civics class, don't understand politics or the government. But a lot of you have no real strategy or legitimate plan of action with the time given. And that should show you that you don't understand what actually needs to happen to get the results you want. This is why politics is every day. And I feel like that's really a word. Like, I feel like we have to do better at like educating ourselves, because we can't expect to learn everything on social media, on I don't want to be shady, but the shade room, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people are starting to like unfollow them, but it's still a thing, which I feel like the shade room, granted, they messy, but they're consistent, and I feel like they kind of have a place in like media now, so we can't really exclude them.
TV Jakes ain't playing with y'all.
I'm weak.
He ain't letting up on y'all.
But y'all have to go outside of that and like really go and look up shit, because That's when that shit happened with Hillary, and I was thinking like, damn, like how the fuck did she win the popular vote and still not become president? Like that made me want to go and look. And I took AP government in high school, but a lot of that you don't remember, you know. So a lot of the times, like living is always learning. You gotta continuously like teach yourself, and then even some stuff you might have already learned, you gotta refresh it, like so you can understand like what's going on around you. And a lot of people don't really be knowing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and it ain't nothing to just go to YouTube. You already on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and look at a quick little 15-minute video. Not even maybe 3 minutes, 6 minutes. Like I watched the video, it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I learned, you know, the basic way of how the electoral college worked and like how it was started.
We need to get them fired though.
Yeah,
Kinda
so
useless, though.
the guy was basically saying like in order to change it, we will have to make an amendment to the. I mean, we'll have to make what it's called when you make a change to the
constitutional
Constitution.
amendment.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and he was like, basically, that's very hard. He didn't really kind of explain like what that process looks like, but I know it involves the Supreme Court, or I believe it involves the Supreme Court. And as we know, that's mostly Republican. So, and them niggas don't leave until they in the box.
And that
You know what I'm
we need
saying?
term. Somebody was commenting on my video too and saying that that people need shorter terms. Period. Like, ain't no way you should just get a job and you gotta die.
Right. You over your dead body, like for real. But yeah, man, that's it for me, man. We gon' next week.
And there hasn't been a constitutional amendment since '92, and it has to do with the salaries of Congress members. So
That's on that tracks.
you've officially been chopped and screwed.
That gotta be the theme song for
Listen,
our technical difficulties.
it's insane.
Yeah, man.
Well, I have advice from Umar, which is where we take a no context Dr. Umar clip and we turn it into valuable life advice. And mine this week is like very short and sweet and to the point. So here we go.
I have a couple of updates for my supporters and donors. A couple of updates for the supporters and donors. Number one, it's going down in Brooklyn. A couple of updates. I have a couple of updates for my supporters and donors.
If they don't support you and they not kicking no money in, don't update them. Fuck them. There's so many people who want to like keep tabs on what you're doing, either for literally no reason, they intend to not help you at all, or worst case scenario, to cause you harm, malice, or get in the fucking way. Not everybody needs an update on what the fuck you're doing. Like, that's the long and short of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more clear I can be. I be trying to warn people, but nobody listens to me. And I be trying to warn them because I'm also the target audience for a long period of my life of just like, oh, they're trying to get me, but they're my friend, so that can't be. It can be.
Yeah.
It is being.
People be weird.
Yeah. So that's my advice. I also want to mention that I made my first pan of baked mac and cheese.
Hey.
We don't have a segment for that.
Woo! It was good too.
Thank you.
That's grown woman stuff.
I fried fish, and I was explaining to my boyfriend, like, there's certain food that, like, if you make it, you got to call people. Mm-hmm. Like, if you put something on the grill, you don't just put something on the grill for you and the people who live in your house. You got to call people up and say. And frying fish is like that. So,
right.
Then when you call people, you got to make sides. So,
right.
It was good. Oh, and what we're watching, not to drag us out, we're going to close in a second. Agatha All Along. I finished it.
Did you go back and like restart it?
No.
Oh. Did you get like what happened?
Yeah.
You know, right after, I don't know if it's that same night, but I was listening to the read and they was talking about Agatha All Along too. They was like raving over it. Well, Kid
good.
Fury was. But yeah, I gotta finish it. It was good from like what I saw.
And I didn't know where I knew the black girl from. I think she's the wife on Home Economics.
Yes, that's the show. Remember, I was like, she's on the show.
Yes.
That's the fucking show, and that show's good.
I went to her
it's kinda funny.
Instagram and I seen like the half locks type of thing. I was like, is that Home Economics?
Yeah,
With Topher Grace. So
Shazir. That's her real name, I think. Shazir.
beautiful lady. I don't know why all the black witches have to be bald. I don't have a problem with it. I'm wondering if it's like because of lazy Hollywood, they don't know how to make like black hair look witchy.
Maybe, or maybe.
Because like the white girls, they just kind of got to rough them up a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, either way.
Can't have a witch. Well, you can have a witch with a 30-inch bust down.
They were everywhere Halloween. Oh, and Wicked. That's the other. Remember, I was like naming black witches that were bald. I forgot Wicked, the new Wicked. No, but they gave her hair. They gave her hair?
I don't know.
Is she bald in the film? I've never seen
I'm
Wicked.
not familiar.
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry to the musical community. Well, this has been another episode of Let Me Stay Focused, a podcast. Don't be a hating ass bitch during the break. We hope you voted. And we hope when we see you next week, we're not bawling our fucking eyes out.
I know, right? We need some good news in 2024.
Ooh. Well,
Well,
for the last time on this side of the election. Bye.
peace.
You officially been chopped and screwed. Another episode of Let Me Stay Focused. Don't be a hating ass bitch during the break.
Peace.
Bye.